I it's crossed my mind multiple times that I forgot to start with the harmonica last time, and I almost did it this time. But there it is. Hello, welcome. I'm I'm excited that this is a platform that I have decided to continue to maintain for myself, and I think the more that I create and the more that I put myself out there, the easier it gets. But also, I haven't had to deal with haters yet. So I know that that's something that, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But a thought that I had about haters, I was once told that yellow makes my nose look big. I thought that was, like the truest statement anyone had ever said at that point in my life. And then this one time in college, I ran for the like dorm room presidency, like where I would be one of the people who are representing the other people in the res hall. And my little slogan, my poster, it had my face on it, and it said "Vote for a G," like Kayla V. And I was walking it was like in the stairwell, and I was like walking a couple steps behind some dude, and he was just like, "Oh, big giant nose," and I was like, "Oh no, I have a giant nose in general, and then yellow makes my nose look even bigger. I can't possibly wear yellow." Anyway, this is me wearing yellow. I wear yellow. And also have a bite of food. This wood smells so good. I forgot that it's like it wasn't intended for art. It was intended for like cooking or like smoking or whatever, and like infusing with flavor. It smells really good. So anyway, I decided in the summer of last year that I was gonna go freak myself silly, and I kind of sort of started, and then got knocked back down, and it didn't feel quite right. And so instead of pushing myself, I gave myself grace, and I was able to rest and take a break and regroup and figure myself out. I I am a very empathic human being, and I'm highly sensitive to the energies around me. And I know how to, I guess, filter some of it to an extent for the sake of my own survival. Come here. But what wasn't feeling right to me, come here, baby, was feeling like I had to fake it, because I wasn't fine. I wasn't doing okay. I mean, there's probably still going to be days where I'm not fine and I don't feel okay. But I've been on a self-love journey that has been many, many years in the making. But I was able to really invest and rest and recover and take good care of myself. And some things that I didn't think were true at all, like there was a time in my life when I wouldn't have been able to, with a straight face, say that I am cute and that people love me and that I'm lovable. It would have been either me faking it or some self-deprecating joke about it. And present day, I know that I'm a bad bitch. All right, I'm a hot girl, and I can own that. And it feels good and it feels energizing. And yeah, I say it and I smile, and there's like a slight awkwardness to it, but it's not because I don't believe it. I do believe it. It's more, the awkwardness is more like, why, um, like the having the confidence to put it out there as a fact instead of just keeping it in my head. So being seen in that way, I guess, is the part that adds a little like, that's new, that's different. Because it was, I mean, it's a big transformation from like not even believing it myself to like, okay, I believe it myself, and then now I'm gonna like put myself out there so other people can have a say on it. I guess that's the true test, right? So, haters are gonna hate, and that's the type of thing that I get to learn. Which, how lucky am I? How cool. I'm I don't know, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going to share. So, one of the days when I was still in Philadelphia, we did photos like with the Polaroid camera. And I was actually really excited about this one because, well, I don't know. I don't have to just explain why. But um, I was drawing, which I do from time to time, and I was drawing out kind of what I wanted my Freak Yourself Silly to look like. And I drew what I thought was myself at first. It was like me in kind of like a yoga pose. But I ended up making some different choices, and my outline totally looked like a penis. And so anyway, this picture, there was a flash, and then I'm pale, and then I was wearing something white, and so it ended up kind of just making me a little blob, a little white blob, which like I kind of see it. I kind of see how it's like a penis-esque shape, which I think is funny. And then I took a confident stance and ended up getting, you know, that vibe. And then this one just went pure goofball, and I like it. The sexier ones, they exist, but these ones were my personal, like, I'm taking these with me favorite, because there's just a plethora of my personality all in one evening, and I kind of like that, especially feeling damn near like I don't feel like I have stuff to hide. I don't feel like I have stuff that I'm ashamed of. I don't have regrets. I was processing that a lot today too. Like, I was thinking, what was there something I would change? Would I have handled this differently? And like, perhaps there's a couple of roads I would have taken differently, with like hindsight being 2020, but for the most part, the big stuff, I'm doing what I need to do. Anyway, I was excited to share my tattoo, but it's I don't know exactly how I would show you my entire back, and it goes a little bit into the butt crack area as well. So I'm gonna just show a picture of the picture, and we'll see. I'm gonna have to get more creative on ways to show it off, because I'm realizing that through that you can't really see it. But anyway, I guess over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I sketched out what I wanted my back piece to look like, and I did it like somewhere silly, like a whiteboard. And then almost a year, like to that date, was when it was finally done. And so I wanted it to be a mythical creature nude beach scene. And I have I have a unicorn on there that people, most people, like a lot of people, they see it and they think I'm a brony, because they definitely see My Little Pony instead of this colorful unicorn, that is kind of like a Lisa Frank style more than anything else. But anyway, so I don't mind. I do think it's interesting how many people see, My Little Pony. And there's a goofy little frog guy, he's wearing glasses, and there's a mermaid, of course, and I asked specifically for ambiguous humans, like kind of you don't really know what all is going on, and so there's a couple, non-binary, kind of a queer, having fun, different body shapes, people on the beach, which, I love, and flowers in a rainbow, and it kind of outs me, and I like it. So one of the first times in my gay life, which, I know I've always been open, but I think it's new for me to actually own the label and feel like, yeah, no, I am a queer human being, even though I've had more straight presenting relationships, than anything else. But anyway, I was out and about. I decided to hang out on a street corner, until, I don't know, people were willing to have conversation with me. And it was weird because the first person, that I kind of made the move to conversate with, we encountered each other at the one corner, and then I started walking and he was driving, and then we ended up at another corner, which I thought was odd, and then we ended up at the same grocery store, and I was like, okay, I'm not stalking you, but like I'm starting to wonder why this is happening. Anyway, he was sweet, he was cute. And then, I met a man who's unhoused, and I would say he was by far, the friendliest, the most open, the most willing to talk, until he found out I was not Christian. And then he immediately was like, well, we can't even continue talking. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't encountered that level of rigidity. I think I have more experience with Christians who are optimistic that with further conversation they could persuade me to see it differently. He was just straight up like, I don't talk to you now. But then right at the same time I learned that, this lovely gay man and his beautiful pit bull, were also on a corner, I'm guessing part of the walk with the pup. And yeah, I just started crying my eyes out because grieving my dog, is part of my journey right now, and she was a pity mix, and so seeing this adorable little pity, and yeah, anyway, he was very, very kind, very supportive, and just asking like kind of what I was up to and all this stuff. And I shared, that I was grieving and working through stuff and figuring out my next steps, and I was like, and I don't know what all of that really looks like, but this is kind of, yeah, what's happening. And he was like, I think you're doing it. I think making space for it, and then invited me to the gay bar down the street, which was cool. So that was my first encounter of, I guess, being seen for my I don't know, there's like this box that I put myself in, I guess, and it felt like he saw me outside the box that I'm trying very hard to jump out of. So I appreciate that. His name was Steve. Steve, if you're out there, I appreciate you, and I'm really glad that you were open to conversation that day, because it made a difference to me. I'm a social scientist. and that feels right. That fits. I'm also a love revolutionary. That feels good. That fits. I believe it. Figuring out how to put those things together in a way that is sustainable for me for my next chapter of my life. Still TBD. But I know for sure at this point, like I've seen it over and over again, that when people are able to connect with me and I'm able to connect with them, like beautiful things happen. And it leaves both of us feeling good. Like that mutually beneficial social connection is just so valuable. And so when I say I'm a social scientist, I'm realizing that what I'm studying, what I'm living into, what I'm learning about is the connection between like a true happiness, a true joy, ability to have fun, to feel pleasure, to be, just joyous. And self-love and community connection. Your people, your family's not the right word. The other human beings who support your thrival. It all goes hand in hand. So I was listening to Queen Herbie's podcast, House of Herbie, and one of the things that she was talking about is, well, there's lots of things, but on this particular note is that like she's met lots of wealthy, famous people, and them having fame and wealth don't necessarily equate to happiness, which we all know this, right? Money doesn't buy happiness. We've been told this forever. I think we have certain hacks that people have figured out where you can get wealth, you can get fame, but the hack for loving yourself, it doesn't quite work the same. Like you can't just, I don't want to say you can't manifest self-love, because you can manifest whatever you want, but it's like the relationship with yourself and the different parts of you, if it's not an intentional effort to love all of those parts, to be present for what comes up for all of those parts, I don't know that we're going to get there. So I had the privilege of giving myself time and patience to see and explore those parts. And now I'm seeing what that my next steps need to be, things that propel me forward now, that they're bold leaps of faith now. And so talking into this camera and posting it on the internet has been well, it's not something I ever thought I would do, first off, but then also I was like, what do I even have to say? Like, what is it? But then I spend time on the internet for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, most people don't have these. I don't want to devalue what other people are saying, and like the way the words keep coming to my mind, it sounds like I am. So it's like there have been it's okay. We got some doggies outside. Gave him paws. There you go, baby. Most of us can see ourselves in others, right? We're all connected. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going to be my big groundbreaking thought? The truth is, I'm not likely to have one. There's going to be inspiration that hits, and when it hits, it's my choice to do something about it, to act on it, to share it, to say it, to put it out there, to create with that thought in mind. But it's mostly just been self-sabotage or an excuse. If I think, oh, I could have said that, I could have been the one saying that. I am the one saying it, and I'm just gonna say it in my own way. Like, it could you imagine if every rapper after Tupac was like, yeah, no, I can't really talk about the realities of my life experience because he already did, and like my life experience was kind of similar. Like, what, it would have never evolved to what it is now. So people on the internet can say what they want to say, in their own ways. And so I think there's versions that if we're seeking it out, we're going to find it. And so I would say the more radical thing that I'm interested in saying is that anxiety is a choice. Anxiety is a choice. And if we would like to no longer make that choice, I got you. I know how to make that happen for you. I need to clarify. I know how to offer you the recipe for you to no longer do that to you. I'm not a magician. It's your choice after that to use the recipe, to bake it, to practice it, to ensure that you don't have it anymore. And that you're very alert when it comes up. That you know that you're in control of your life, and worry doesn't get you any closer to your goals. That anxiety it's a message. It's a, as Britt Frank says, it's an indicator light of what's going on in your life. And so if the check engine light of your life is saying you have anxiety, you have stress, stress isn't the right word. Stress is just that'll happen to a degree. Still kind of working all that out, where I land on that. The type of stress that's like short-term bursts of it, like you're about to go do some public speaking, the healthy kind. There we go. Healthy stress versus unhealthy stress. The wasted energy stress, that stuff. We don't have to deal with that if we don't want to. And I think there's going to be plenty of people who don't know how to live without it, and there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about that. But if you're someone who's, I can't sleep and I don't know why. I'm having trouble eating and I don't know why. I can't take a break and I don't know why. I'm struggling to find the love of my life and I don't know why. I can't make friends and I don't know why. I'm having a really hard time making decisions and I don't know why. Let's have a conversation. Because I can read the room on that. I can read the energy on that. I can ask questions and dig deep, and it's not always comfortable. Trust me. I've kind of seen it make people uncomfortable often. But if that's something you want, if you want to know the reason, if you don't want it to be this for some reason, for some unknown reason, I'm going to be able to figure out the reason. Assuming you're an active and willing participant. If you're just, if you just decide that it's not something that you're willing to participate in, then why bother? Like, why even sign up But that's not something that I can control. All I can control is putting out the offer. Hey, if you have shit in your life that is bugging you, that is causing you anxiety, that is keeping you from living your best life, and you're not sure what even is, or how to overcome it, where it's coming from, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about it. It's my gift. I'm a healer. And I'm feeling more clarity than I have felt in a very long time. I'm feeling available to support others. My subconscious feels very safe. And I want to keep that momentum going. And I want to share my love and my gift and my skills with as many people as I can. And so I had a very clear vision of one-on-one efforts with folks. Nothing too deep, but gathering enough information to thoughtfully craft social gatherings after that. So the first step really is interest in, okay, I am someone who does not have the supportive community that I know I need, that I feel it in my bones, that I'm the people around me don't support me in the way that I need to be supported. You're not hearing, I love that for you, I'm so proud of you, I'm in your corner, is there anything I can do to support you in that? You're not hearing it enough, you're not feeling it enough. And so the strong ones, the ones who have it all together, who figure it out for everybody else, I'm the figure outer for you. And I want to do that. I want to offer that. And it would feel so good to me to be able to support people in that journey and see where it goes in a fun way. That's the best part, is I know how to do it in a way that's fun. But it takes willingness, and it takes a commitment. It takes a commitment. It takes persistence, consistency. Just like any good recipe, you gotta practice, you know? You gotta practice, you gotta show up over and over again, even when you don't necessarily want to. So, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to say, if you have barriers to living your best life, and you're not sure how to knock those barriers down, reach out. Send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to support you and encourage you and see how we can't be of mutual benefit. So, yeah. Okay. This has been fun. Talk to you later.